everyone, welcome to Stella Vision, Stella Rising's weekly marketing update. I'm Marlia Clark, CMO. Thanks so much as always for joining us. Today we are so excited to welcome Parbinder Dhariwal, Beauty Lead at Walmart Group. Walmart and Walmart.com are continuing to grow in importance for consumers. They have had 97% e-com growth just in Q2 2020. And of course, that's happening for our clients as well. It's extremely important as a platform to many of our clients. Parbs has great insights on how to reach these important consumers, how brands can scale via Walmart, and best practices on the platform. Parbs, welcome to Stella Vision. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you. Good to be here. With that, I'll take it away, and thank you again for having Walmart Media Group and giving us the opportunity to talk about our business right now, which is it's in very exciting mode right now. So there's a few things that we're going to take you through today. We're going to give you a little bit of an update on what's happening from landscape and a bit about our value proposition, as well as some solutions, and we'll talk about a little bit of an overview and some of the trends that we're seeing as well around Walmart specific to the beauty category. So one thing that we will always continue to talk about, and I'll save all those graces for today, but we do have a Walmart cheer, and we always end our Walmart cheer with the customer is always number one. And that will continue to be an important part of the way in which we think about this evolving business. It's a continuation of some of the changes that we see in 2020, which has been quite a ride for this particular year, and we've seen an enormous amount of shifting habits with consumers, specifically as it relates to the omnichannel. But whatever we do and however we do it, our customer is always number one. We always put them first as this evolution continues to take shape. Related to again, just more sort of a little bit about who we are and our scale. We have the largest retail footprint in the US, with 90% of Americans have shopped at Walmart or Walmart.com. We continue to see that growth across the board, but most importantly, we see a big change and a shift that's in the way in which the consumers are thinking about shopping, and most specifically around omnichannel. Omnichannel for us is really the different connection points that a customer has in order to get access to products. So how do we create as many frictionless environments for the customer to shop? Now, the changing behaviors that are related to COVID and that we've seen this year have really pushed us to develop our products and single site experiences to again release as much friction as possible in that shopping experience. Some of the ways in which we are evolving as an omni-channel, Walmart.com is with evolving the delivery experience there from 2 days to next day. We're now bringing in Walmart apps, store maps into our app, so consumers can easily browse the shelves, but from their phone. And online grocery pickup has been an absolute huge development for us this year. An area that we continue to grow footprint, we continue to grow SKUs, we continue to see enormous engagement from our consumers in the way in which they want their products. So we're delivering again that frictionless fulfillment experience across all of the different ways that a customer wants to shop today. This continues to evolve and also gives the customer and our suppliers a huge opportunity to also evolve with us. Just some facts on the way in which our business has evolved, which was really touched upon at the beginning of the call. We're seeing growth, and we're seeing growth both from an e-commerce perspective as well as stores. Our comps continue to be market leading. We're seeing e-commerce and consumers leaning into e-commerce. These were our Q1 results. In March, COVID really hit and saw that acceleration of growth from an e-commerce perspective. But we were expecting to be somewhat hit as it related to stores. Where we did see traffic recede a little bit was around March. We saw overall transactions drop, so people were visiting less frequently. However, they were still filling their baskets, as you can see on the right here, with the 16.5% ticket value of increasing through stores, and so people were buying more but just visiting less often. And we saw again the same in Q2. We saw comp sales at around about that 9-10% again in stores. We've seen e-commerce again grow at 97%, but we've seen again transactions fall a little bit more. And transactions and footfall within the stores fell around about 14%, but again, people are buying more. So we're not seeing an overall downside in transactions and our growth trajectory for Walmart, but just the consumer experience is changing ever so slightly. As we saw COVID hit, we really talk about the 5-5-5 approach and the way in which we develop product and also established some different ways in which consumers wanted to shop. We saw our product development go very, very fast. So we did around about 5 months of product development in 5 weeks. And we probably saved us around about $5 billion as a result of doing that. But some of the things and innovations that we saw from a store perspective is the contact-free checkouts using Walmart Pay, online ordering and bringing Snap into the ability for customers to do that. We're taking a real stance from a social perspective as well, mandating face coverings for all. We've got the ability to have online pickup now, as I said, around about 3,300 stores. We've got express delivery that also launched. In some of our regions, we're seeing delivery of product happening within the hour. So definitely moving the needle around fulfillment, definitely moving the needle around creating those different and alternative frictionless shopping experiences, and will continue to grow as the less stress shopping experience needs to also evolve as well. One of the big product developments that we made in the middle of this year was the unification of our Walmart.com app and also our pickup and delivery. And we saw a really strong cross-pollination of consumers who were using just grocery before, really leaning into general merchandise as well. So we'll see this continue to evolve. We'll see this continue to take shape as over the next 6 to 12 months. And then the last thing that we've launched today, and that's a lot of product development that we've put our finger on, which is Walmart Plus. Walmart Plus continues to shape the way in which we want consumers to be working with us and shopping with us. We've got that ability for the customer to access scan and go features in stores. They would literally be able to go into the store and buy their products without having any contact with anybody throughout that experience. We've got the unlimited delivery option as well from an online perspective. We will continue to hear more about Walmart Plus and the benefits that brings. But again, everything that we've done, everything that we've built, everything that we've launched over the last 6 months in these troubled times around COVID has been with the customer in mind and helping us create more seamless and frictionless shopping experiences. Walmart Media Group is a subdivision of Walmart. We work as an independent media opportunity outlet for buying and targeting audiences across all of our Walmart properties. We enable brands to reach customers at the right time in the right place. We also deliver highly relevant content, and we're accountable for every dollar that you spend with us. That enhances that shopping journey. It is about enhancement. It's not about detracting from the journey. It's about adding value to the journey. We have a Walmart Media Group, and we're the only division within Walmart that has this purview. We have first-party data, 360 view, and understanding of the customer at the household level. We're able to target very specifically to categories as well as segments, and also geo-target as well. If you think about what our demographic makeup is, and then the subsections of those demographics, given 90% of the US are engaging with Walmart or purchasing from Walmart and Walmart.com, we have a pretty good overarching purview of the US demographic. It really mirrors our demographic really mirrors the US demographic, and with that we have an enormous amount of data that enables us to take those billions of data signals and really focus in on how do we actually speak to the customer and specifically push a product to them. When we see purchase-based data and purchase-based data used to target ad campaigns, be it through, and we'll talk about this a little bit about search and display, we see the opportunity and the ROI 3x on a lot of our CPG accounts. There's two ways in which we can actually target the consumer. There's a behavioral, which is based on actual behavior of the customer at the household level, or there's more contextual placements that we can also target as well, that is based up of sample data around our first party. And we have different ways in which we talk to the customers as well. We're talking to the customers across all of the different platforms, but we're talking to them with different products. And we also have the ability and understanding, because of the foundational data sets that we possess, we have the ability to really push the customer in different directions. If we want to push the customer to purchase more online grocery, or we want to push the customer to purchase more from Walmart.com, or even pushing the customer in store, these are all available to us. We also offer the availability to target our first-party data across some of the social platforms. So extension of Walmart data on Facebook, or Walmart data on Instagram, or Walmart data on Pinterest. Really targeting those behaviors off platform when we know that the customer isn't always on Walmart.com or in a Walmart store. Yet we maintain our consistent trust with our partnerships with a supplier and with our consumer. The ad creative, the messaging that we are very empathetic to, especially in current states, will continue to add value to the customer experience. We recently did a survey which was a sample-based survey, where we found that over 75% of the consumers who were surveyed saw that WMG adds value to the purchase journey. This is something that we will continue to build upon as WMG evolves as well. Just a couple of things that I'm going to touch upon over the next couple of slides, which are to talk about really the types of ad solutions that we've got. We do provide a managed service layer as well as a self-service layer. The strategic direction that the team provides as well is really lent into understanding how suppliers want to talk to our audiences and the types of products that they want to talk about. Just remember that, you know, the scale that Walmart possesses and the scale that we can deliver is exceptional. 16 million searches a day across the platform. We've got over 12 million visits per day as well. We also have, as I've mentioned, we've got really two core products that leverage our targeting capabilities. We have sponsored products, traditional search products that are really driving the consumer to the PDP and enabling that purchase. And then also closed loop display ads. Everything that we do is based around a ROAS, be it an omni-channel ROAS or be it an online ROAS. We have tactics that sit below this that can enable both of those KPIs. Our primary goal is about driving performance, but as a result of the way in which we work, we do also provide upper funnel activity and upper funnel awareness of products as well. Sponsored products, just going a little bit deeper on this, and then I'll go a little bit deeper on closed loop display. Sponsored products is about, you know, how do you get and build awareness of your products with our audience. As the customer is coming into Walmart.com and they are normally searching in order to find product, how do you make sure that you are relevant and you are providing them with your product at the top of the page? We've seen this increase sales. There are some fundamentals that we definitely push our suppliers to work with us on in order to make sure that the content we are working with is up to date, to make sure that supply chain is working, to make sure that you know, we've got, you know, enough inventory and first party inventory as well within our reach to deliver to customers. We only deliver this on a cost per click. So when the customer clicks on your ad, then we will attribute a cost against that. As it relates to closed loop display, these ads appear on site across our digital properties. They're native in the nature that they are delivered. But we're also finding that our offsite capabilities that I alluded to around Facebook as well as Pinterest are also driving a compelling results and compelling ROAS related to what suppliers' needs are. We continue to evolve some of the display opportunities, and we'll see more of that over the course of the next 12 months. But this is a tactic that we consistently use to drive the customer into the omni-channel experience. So with that, I'm just going to now touch upon some not just opportunities, but also, you know, really what we're seeing from a category level, and what's happening from a category level as well. And we've seen a lot of change and a shift in behavior as it relates to beauty, especially with COVID coming into effect. We've seen color cosmetics has started to hit some headwinds and some challenges, but in the same breath, we've also seen skincare really evolve and really take shape. The lifestyle and routine changes that, you know, customers are leaning into. There's clearly that increased connection around self-care. Skincare for us has seen phenomenal growth, but DIY hair care or DIY nail care has also seen phenomenal growth. And there are some standouts on these that I'll talk about over the next couple of slides. But certain ways in which the consumer behavior has had to change due to salon closures or nail salon closures or masks being worn, the Zoomageddon world that we live in every single day. This enables a different change in behavior that we're really seeing in a shift in consumers buying products across Walmart. Overall, beauty, we've seen excellent growth throughout the COVID period. We've seen exceptional growth that beats our e-commerce growth for beauty on Walmart.com. Pickup delivery still continues to be standout. We've seen an uplift in store sales. This stat that you see here is specific to May and will be in conjunction with the stimulus checks that were also distributed, but we continue to see the steady pace across our stores. .com pickup and delivery have also shown incredible high demand. We've seen traffic growth. We've seen pickup and delivery as just a new way of customers engaging. We've continued to grow our SKUs across pickup and delivery as well. We've grown our footprint across pickup and delivery. So these are continued opportunities that we're seeing the customer lean in. Skincare, I touched upon a slide or two ago. The routine has really changed, right? We've seen, customers leaning to self-care. We've got the whole acne revolution that's happening, and teenagers really getting in as well on face care. A lot of the skincare brands and opportunity is also rising through. We're seeing the growth of these categories within TikTok. They're also too driving awareness around certain products. We've seen that facial care shoppers are brand loyal. They always continue to like to go to their favorite products. They search for their brand names. With Neutrogena, which is the large incumbent in this category, we've seen Cetaphil definitely playing as part of that as well. And we've seen some really strong success stories as well this year with CeraVe. But again, a lot of those are tied into the way in which national media on social, as well as pairing with us on Walmart Media Group, have really grown the opportunity. Nail salons are mostly closed in most states, and as they start to open, we are still seeing, and we saw this when in March as well, that one of the first items that sold out was nail polish remover. We're seeing nail polish as well continue to grow. Customers are leaning into more eye makeup rather than lip makeup, because we've got the whole mask experience that's happening. But overall, we're still seeing volume around cosmetics increase on .com. It's still up 47%. It's not beating the way in which we're seeing the overall market, but nevertheless, it's still prevalent, but becoming a little bit more finite with the categories that we're seeing grow. And then hair care continues to be a standout category. Dry shampoo for those at home and don't want to necessarily wash their hair every single day is a category that's continues to be on top search. We saw a lot of activity around hair care coming into effect, but we also see some categories that would normally do well at this particular time that don't do well. So one of the categories that we're seeing right now, which is on the decline, is hair lice treatment. So with kids not being so prevalent within school, hair lice is not, as great as that sounds, hair lice is not something that is as big a problem as it normally is at this time of year. And then as it relates to hair color, we saw a big spike, and that started to peter off a little bit. But what we do see here is some, apart from the normal brands that you would associate with being top search, we're seeing bold colors really come into their own and being searched for. Bleach is also continues to drive the category, and overall with hair care as well as hair color, speciality, multicultural is a real big driver for us across the whole of Walmart, and something that Walmart is, and you'll hear about leaning in much more. So with that, I just want to leave it here. And again, thank you for having us today. Look, we're from a Walmart Media perspective, we're here. We can scale. We can provide insights. We can provide results. We can drive performance. We want to make sure that as we're working with you guys as suppliers and partners, we build out the right tactics and the strategy that actually feeds into it. So how do we work with search versus display? We continue to build a partnership with all of our suppliers, and with that, I'll pause and see if there's any questions.
Great, thanks so much, Parbs. I think I speak for all of us in saying we're really excited about the decreased hair lice searches. That's sort of it's a little silver lining in these dark times. But that was really so helpful. I know even though I have the deck, I was screenshotting. There's a lot I know that we're going to be thinking about and acting on, and probably have lots more questions for you. We do have some questions today. The first one is from our audience. What is the best way to scale limited product lines, and what limitations do we face with organic requirements?
Yeah, absolutely. The piece that I would say here around any product line, if it's sort of more niche or otherwise, is let's get the fundamentals fixed first. Let's make sure that the content is right on the site. Let's make sure that we're working really cohesively with supply chain and we're able to fulfill, because if we go back to sort of slide number 1, which was around the customer, if the customer experience isn't there, then we're going to be challenged in terms of the way in which we can drive your product. We work really strategically, and we work strategically to understand what the goals are. Often we find that customers either want to lean into driving e-com sales, or they want to drive store sales. We ideally want to drive omni sales, but in order for us to understand those goals, we have to work with you to develop the right products. And we're developing the right products such as search or display in order to build that awareness with that target audience. Also think about, how does your, national media, how does the work that you're doing across social, TikTok and Instagram really feed into the overall campaign dynamics that you're working and building with WMG? But so there's not sort of one straight answer for that. It's really a consultative way in which we work together to build that awareness, but we always got to get the fundamentals fixed across Walmart.
That's great. Another question is a little more on the beauty side. You talked about how beauty shoppers are brand loyal and frequently search by brand name. So a lot of our brands have a question about, if I'm a newer brand looking to break into a space, what do you think is the most effective way to convert Walmart consumers to my new product line, or what's new for them?
Yeah, so a really interesting stat that I came across is 50% of the Walmart customers visit Walmart.com to discover new brands. It's it's something that is becoming much more synonymous with e-commerce channels, and even 62% of our overall customers are comparing and researching on Walmart.com. As that relates to holiday, those numbers increase more substantially. Customers are really trying to understand and discover new products. So again, from a beauty standpoint, there's a really big opportunity right now as customers are looking to new products. They come to Walmart because they know that our price points and everyday EDLP, our everyday low prices, are something that they want to lean into. They also come to Walmart because of the way in which we can, help them fulfill on that product as well, through the different experiences that we've talked about today. But yeah, the most important piece is that really consider Walmart.com and our Walmart experiences as a place where consumers really come to actually discover new brands and learn about new brands, and then ultimately purchase.
That's great. And we have one more that I think we have time for today. And I know anyone is welcome to follow up with me anytime with any questions. I will bug Parbs myself on your behalf. But in the CPG space, this brand was told that buyers are in charge of online sales as well as in-store. So we have different product offerings on shelf versus online. How could you talk a little bit about that? Do all online sales hit the buyer's desk? Is that all controlled by one buyer?
Yeah, it's a great question. We've been working towards building out our omni capabilities for quite some time. So if you think about the coming together of the Walmart.com app and our online grocery app into one single experience, if you think about improving the way in which consumers can navigate the store experience through their phone, we see the customer as one, and we see the different ways in which they shop, and that we help them shop ultimately with Walmart as that single experience too. What we did around about a month, 2 months ago, as we see this convergence really working towards the omni, we also converged our merchant operations. So our merchant operations now have one singular desk, and that singular desk will buy across all of Walmart. So they'll be responsible for not just purchasing on e-com, which was separate merchants previously and sitting on separate desks. They've now come together to purchase as one unit across the entire Walmart portfolio. So this is something that you'll continue to see roll out. This is something that you continue to see evolve. This is something that you'll see us really leaning into omni. Walmart is really the only retailer out there that can provide the omni capabilities at scale, and the merchant organization coming together is the biggest shift that's happened for the suppliers in quite some time. So watch this space. This is happening right now, and will continue to take shape.
That's so great. I have to thank the question writer there, because that really is a perfect way for us to end. Because I do think one thing you've said to us today that is just going to resonate with me is what you just said, that omni-channel at scale equals Walmart, really. So I think that's really exciting. Where omni-channel is something everyone's talking about today. So it's really exciting. Again, I thank you so much for taking time to be here today, sharing that with us. It's really important for all of our clients to think about that and to understand those omni-channel at scale capabilities. Thank you again. Thanks to all of you for joining us. Please, as I said, don't hesitate to reach out to me with any follow-up questions. Next week, our own Marina Yashayeva will be giving us highlights from Prime Day, how it went for our clients, and how she's thinking about holiday in 2021. Again, thank you so much, Parbs, and everyone have a wonderful weekend. Thanks a lot.